she's got to do a little bit of everything, so it's a lot of training over the first week. She's at the store about 29 hours the first week. We got to turn it up, 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 turn it up. We got to turn it up, Hey guys, day 3 of the technician. She's fitting in, she's working hard, so that's, that's always a good thing. So today she got to do a little bit more of the credit card processing side of things. She's got to, interact a little more with customers. We did a diagnostic by herself, which is just a simple software procedure, but not knowing how to do those things and learning them for the first time, can always be challenging. So again, I didn't get to go into too much about this in the past, about what she knows and doesn't know. I honestly have no clue how technical she is. From my conversations with her, she's very green, and she is not a hobbyist or somebody that tears apart computers or anything like that. But she definitely does seem to, always have a smile on her face. And I don't know whether to take that as she's enjoying the job or she's just a very happy person. Definitely a tough one to figure out. But overall, it looks like she is, fitting in and, learning well. This week, again, the way I do a lot of training might be a little more lax and slow to get into the place, but we don't have a lot of people at our store, so we do the first week usually as just a hang out behind the scenes, figure it out, and figure out how the inner workings go, how the customers flow, how the shop flows, and then figure the starting tasks, like using one of our tools called Tech USB and Tech Suite, and the physical inspection of machines. Tomorrow we're going to do an iMac. Basically, she's going to watch and see how that goes. She's going to get a good idea of, how deep she has to go, and so on. Today we did a laptop screen replacement. Again, this was her watching me do the replacement. Next one, I will probably have her hands on, me just doing the narrating. And then from there, we will see, how comfortable she is, and maybe have her do the third one on her own. I like the slow approach to it. I'm not a educator by the standard sense. I am just a human being. I try my best, and the former employee was able to catch on, fit in, and he stayed around 3 years, which I think is pretty good. This girl has said that she's gonna have about 2 years of availability till a larger job picks her up after college. So we've got, about a year and a half to figure out how we can keep her on if she ends up working out. So we're gonna do a little bit more of the hands-on style stuff with her. So far, she's done a lot of data entry. So when Ashley's not at the store, I've been having her do some data entry on QuickBooks, getting familiar with that. She's been doing great with that. At my store, since I am small, some larger firms, with 10 plus people or even 5 plus people have different ways of doing things. But since I am small and we only have, right now, including the new person, 3 people, it's kind of like you got to do all the tasks at the retail store segment of it. You have to go and check customers out. You have to help them purchase items. You have to also do work in the back if you're in the technical position. By the second week, she's got to be learning to function on her own. And the second day of the third week, she will actually be on her own for half a day. So will be a phone call away, but she'll be on her own for, you know, about half a day trying to, you know, it's almost like into the fire at that point. One thing I didn't realize is that back in November, they changed the I-9 forms. And I don't know if it's just because it's been 3 years since I had to deal with an I-9 form for a W-2 employee, but the I-9 forms changed. The complexity, in my opinion, of the form led me to just send it to my accountant. So I have sent the employee for tomorrow to the accountant. When she gets out of school on her way to work, she's going to swing by the accountant, which is right next to where she goes to school. She's going to swing by there. She's going to fill out the form with the accountant, make sure that she gets it done correctly. Being that these are federal forms, you want to make sure it's done right. So I got the W-4 form and another form. I don't remember which form it was. But I was able to help her fill out those. I think she did most of that on her own. But the I-9, I just wanted to make sure it was done right. There was more words on it than I was used to. Used to be, I thought you just put the driver's license number, social security number, and sign the page, and you're good. I don't know. Apparently, it looks more complicated than I was used to. So we're going to see how that goes. And I assume everything will go good for days to come. But we're just going to keep at it. We're going to, you know, keep going through the basic training. And, you know, by the time this video gets up, we'll be on day probably 4 or 5. And, you know, definitely let me know, you know, if you have any suggestions of things that I should definitely be thinking about as a train.
Turn it on.